Hello, my name is Jamie Abusham, and I am an assistant professor in educational leadership and also the program chair for the Ed Leadership Masters and Administrative Credentials. So people told me I was crazy to take this on in my first semester in higher ed, and they're probably right. But I also am extremely grateful for the things that I have learned and the way that they are shaping all of the reform that we're putting into place in this program. So, with that said, there are things that I wish were further along in this, and it's not for my lack of effort, but it is because I continue to refine these items here. So, here goes. Let me tell you a little bit about this site, which is for educational assessment, which is the first of 3 research courses for students completing the master's degree. And the homepage that they have, I've cleaned up to just include announcements and Blackboard help because I thought a little bit cleaner might be better. The information they need in the menu here is grouped into different sections with dividers and subheaders. And I've put the information they'll need first on top, and then it progresses to the learning units, then assignment tools, and then other references or resources. So within each of these sections, in the general information, this home page is first, and then students are directed to this Begin Here section. The Begin Here section has the copy of the welcome letter, and they'll receive something very similar to this by email in the week prior, but the one they receive by email will also have information on how to register if they haven't already done so. Now, most of the students in this program I've already known for 9 months. There are not a lot of them that are new to the program at this point. So some of it is just reminder, but I did include those things that are unique, and then also some of the information that should be here and relevant all the time, like support for students with disabilities and so forth. Course policies come next, and these are either those that I feel are really important to stress every semester, such as academic honesty, or things that are unique to the online environment are listed here. And then the traditional syllabus, if they want to download it, print it, and so forth, is listed here as well. Includes a lot of the same information, but I'm trying to give them multiple points of access. And then links to the ebook version of our required textbook, and then also a link for the recommended textbook here. So after that, and within that information comes out as an announcement, but also there is a welcome video that was developed in Unit 5 and 6, and within that message, it introduces them to this information here. But one of the things that it explains to them is the Q&A forum, which is a great place to ask a general question about the course, or I will have specific forums for each of the units for that content. And then my contact information is reiterated in that message, but then also here, I'm including online office hours on Mondays when each new unit is rolled out, because I think that will be helpful. And then the information on when they can expect a response on email. Moving on then, as far as there's a lot of information about support for learners and that about this course information section. I think the only thing that I forgot to mention from the checklist is that the policies includes information on how assignments are submitted and then how feedback is given. Oh, and one other thing that's listed there, I plan to hold 3 face-to-face sessions, and that's explained in the course letter. Those won't be required, but they are to support any student that feels like they want that face-to-face time to go through the course or to go through any of the course information. One of those will be beginning, midway, and at the end. So then moving on into sample units. I have just in the past day or so started to add this section, which is an overview of learning units. And this gives a learning unit schedule. I also anticipate adding points to this. And then I decided it might be good to have an overview of learning units in general that will go into this section here. So that's just a shell at this point. I haven't had the chance to put it in there yet. So the general content And part of the reason that this course is not yet fully developed is I'm actually teaming with someone in education in special ed who has a stronger background in qualitative methods. My background is very much quantitative, so we're going to team this together and put some of that information together. Okay, so within each individual unit, you will see that there is an overview that gives some general information and specifies the learning objectives. Those learning objectives are within each unit. And then I really liked the way that Corinne had a table at the beginning of each section that explained what items would be done during that week, what types of items they were, I thought was important, and then the points and when those items were due. So these activities that are listed here, the learning unit progresses through them, and there's a wide variety here, and they're designed to meet people at different places and to respect multiple modalities. So there's some traditional textbook reading here that has some Q&A in it. I developed an ebook here that again starts with why and explains why this content matters, and then goes on to have individual videos, what is empiricism, then what is empirical research, explaining qualitative versus quantitative research, and then another article that says a little more about then these specific categories of qualitative and quantitative. So that is an ebook that has all of that information in it. Going back to the unit, the next thing is a little bit more information for them, articles for them to read on critically evaluating research, explains, like they all do, which learning objectives they support. And then after this, a quiz in which they can participate. And like a lot of their other items here, and you'll see in the rubrics in just a minute, I think it's important that they allow multiple attempts. For me, the learning is the non-negotiable. If they need a little more time or if they need a little more support, that's okay. But the learning part is the part that we have to make happen. So the quiz provides feedback and is auto-graded with only one question being an exception. That's more of an essay question. And then the next section goes on to have a discussion board post. I'll click on this because I have these windows put together. Well, I don't think it's easy to see here. So let me see if I can expand this out and make it a little easier to see within that learning unit. The rubric. So I include a rubric and I include clear directions on when each item is due. However, I want to point out that in my rubric, there's an excellent section, meets expectations, and then revision required. Because from my perspective, if anybody's performing at this lower level, I want them to put more effort into it. You'll see that again, the next project is a WikiPart project, which is a partner project. And the rubric again here has what it looks like if they're doing an excellent job, what it looks like if they're meeting expectations, and then if they perform in this area, they'll need to do some revision. Okay, so that's the variety of activities within that learning unit. And within that learning unit and also those assessments, it's important to me that there are multiple modalities for the activities, but then also for the assessment. The assessment very much needs to match the learning objectives and pull out some higher order thinking skills, and that's actually where I see more expansion taking place. And then there's always rubrics included, and in the future I hope to add anchors or models. And then in every case with assessments, I'm really striving towards reflecting the knowledge and skills and dispositions that are needed for effective school leadership. So there you have it. Thank you very much for your time, and I appreciate my learning here.